Facebook Live and on YouTube Live. I haven't been here for a couple weeks due to the Jewish holidays. Those are over. Now we're back to normal life. I'm here in my full Sharsheret regalia because on Sunday, 5 days from now, I'm going to run the Chicago Marathon to benefit Sharsheret. I have raised more than $4,000. I think at this point I've raised $4,350. My initial goal was $2,500, and then I set it for $3,050, which I think was 20% more than $2,500. When I hit $3,050, I said, let's go for $4,000. And thanks to the generosity of my friends and family, I have now actually topped even that goal. So I'm very proud of that. I've also done as much of the training as I could. I experienced a little bit of an injury, but here's what I really want to talk about today. And that is I want to do a short, quick YouTube and Facebook Live to show off all my Sharsheret gear, which just came yesterday. I went running in it this morning. But what I also want to do is just take a moment to talk about Sharsheret and to talk about what it means to make a long-range commitment that's challenging and to do my best to follow through on it. And what that can say about how we can become the people we want to be in our lives. What that says about how we can shape our lives. The first thing maybe that I'll just do is just go back a little bit of my history with Sharsheret. I personally do not have a direct connection to the organization. Sharsheret exists to provide support to women and families who are facing breast cancer, ovarian cancer, a BRCA gene diagnosis, or other specific cancers that women experience, I think, as part of their fertility biology. Fortunately, no one in my family, thank God, has experienced this, but friends of mine, people that I'm very close to, and people that I respect and care for deeply have experienced it. When I first signed up for the New York Marathon, I think this was for the 2018 marathon, I didn't match. My son Eitan asked me to run with him. He said, "You'd really love it, Dad." I was in to do something with him. That was fantastic. And he matched, meaning he got a lottery slot in the marathon and I did not. But even before I found out I did not get a lottery slot, somehow Sharsheret got my information and sent me an email. So I remember I was at work and on the midday, I got an email from Sharsheret saying, if you don't get into the New York Marathon, run with us. You'll raise money for us. We will pay for your airfare to the race. We'll treat you to a pregame dinner and we'll provide you coaching so that you can accomplish your goal of running a marathon. And that sounded exciting because I knew what Sharsheret had done for my friends. Sure enough, I didn't match. I raised the money. I had a great experience, had great coaching, had a fantastic race experience with my son, and once again, benefited Sharsheret. Then too, I exceeded the goal that I had set for myself financially, and I met my goal in training, in actually completing the New York Marathon. So this time around, it was a no-brainer. I was going to run the Chicago Marathon. I was more than happy to do it, and of course, to benefit Sharsheret. What running the marathon actually means for me is a twofold proposition. On the one hand, I am actually inspired. I say this in the thank you emails that I write to people who donate, but I am inspired by the people who've donated, and I feel a sense of obligation. Early in the training, there is always a moment where I think to myself, am I really going to be able to do this? Am I really going to be able to cross that finish line? Am I going to be able to put in all of the days and miles and hours of training that it takes? And then I think to myself, even if I've only gotten one donation by that point, I think to myself, you got to do it, people. You've told people you're going to do it. They've given money to support you doing it. You got to do it. And that has been a tremendous boost to my motivation. The second part of it, as I said in one of my emails, soliciting donations, is that all of the people who are donating do not, like me, they also may not have a direct connection to Sharsheret's work. They may not provide busy boxes to families, for instance. They may not connect a woman who's just received a BRCA diagnosis with a woman who's been down that road so that they can support each other through this very difficult experience. They may not provide the medical information and genetic testing and seminars and webinars with doctors so that people who are facing critical and possibly certainly life-changing and possibly life-threatening medical decisions are doing so with as much information as possible. These people who are donating may not have benefited from any of these services and others that Sharsheret provides, and yet they still give. And so what they create, and if you who are people who've donated on my behalf are watching this, you've created this secret society. You are invisible. I am invisible to the people who benefit from Sharsheret's services. And I find that profoundly moving. Because what it means is that as a team, as a unit, we are generating energy in the world to support people who may never feel it. You know, Maimonides talked about different levels of tzedakah, and the highest level is when you give and the person who receives it has no idea who it came from. I can't believe how moved I'm becoming thinking about this. But the women and families who receive the benefits of Sharsheret, they never meet me. They don't know the people who've given to me. They haven't met my sister, who is actually in a hospital bed right now. She had back surgery. She's recovering. She's in a rehab facility. But she had a little bit of money, and she was the one who put me over the top at $4,000. She was the one who made the difference for me. And she has never been in a position to be able to give before. But this year she was, and she was only more than happy to do so. They will never meet Margie, my sister, but they will experience the sum total, the overall impact of everything that we've done together. So that's a very powerful part of what it means to be part of this secret society, this secret community that we're all together with. And then I also want to reach out to my running partner, Robin Shaw. We're going to run the marathon together. We're going to have a great time. His wife and my wife and the four of us are going on like this great double date to Chicago. We're going to have a great time. We're doing an architectural boat tour. We're going to eat some lovely food at the pre-race dinner with Sharsheret, and then plug in for Milt's Barbecue for the Perplexed in Chicago. I've eaten there. They have an incredible menu. I'm largely vegan, but I'm not so pure. I might slip a little bit and have to have a little bit of their beef bacon appetizer. Just might have to go there. Maybe one of the ribs if we get a table of ribs for, a plate of ribs for the table. We'll see. We're going to have a fabulous time, and we're going to run a race, and we're going to be challenged, and we're going to put ourselves on the edge. And this is what I want to talk about. It means to have a grandiose goal. Is that you're really putting yourself on the edge. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish the race. It's supposed to be hot. It's supposed to be humid. I don't run well in humidity, but we're going to try, and we're putting ourselves out there. And that creates a powerful message to ourselves. It creates a powerful message that we can focus and that we can accomplish something one step at a time, literally. It started with a 2-mile run. It started with a 3-mile run, and then a 5-mile run. And on the weekends, I was doing 6 miles, and then 8 miles, and then 9 miles. And then before I knew it, I did my biggest run of all, a 19-mile run. I don't do those every day, but I did it as part of my training. I now have that in sort of my mental template. I have that in my mental background of what I can accomplish. So if I did this only to benefit Sharsheret, I would have to say, if I said I'm only doing it to benefit Sharsheret, I'd say I'm lying. I did it to benefit myself. But I am made bigger, and we are all made bigger when we collaborate, when we connect, when we become part of a secret society for something, for anything that is meaningful to us. When we establish a partner, the Talmud tells us, "Aseh lecha chaver." So Robin and I, we became chaverim. We became a running havruta to accomplish this grand feat. And it's just tremendously inspiring. So I hope that you are inspired to do something grand. If it's a 5K, it doesn't have to be a marathon. It could be a 5K. It could be a walk around the block. I have a friend, that is exactly how he started running marathons. His doctor told him, if you don't do something, he's middle-aged just like I am, and his doctor said to him, if you don't do something for your health, you're not going to make it very long. And he walked around the block, and then he ran around the block, and then he ran around the block twice. And now he's one of my inspirations for running the marathon. And when I needed advice, I went to him and said, hey, it's humid out there in Chicago. How am I going to manage this? What do you recommend? That's a Selecha Chaver. There are Chaverim around us. Connect with them. Focus on grand goals and see what you get. Discover what that experience is like. So thanks for watching. I'll report back next week on Tuesday on how I did, and I'll see you in the next video.